The last two launches in One North Eden and Blossoms by the Park sold really well at launch. So does that mean the Hill at One North is going to perform as well? But I think what we really want to know is if the Hill at One North is a worthy buy. So I'm not a huge fan of small development because of the smaller scale. There's going to be lesser transaction and it's probably going to be harder for you to sell in future. But it's slightly different when it comes to the One North area. So the recent last two launches, One North Eden and Blossoms by the Park, are not any larger as compared to the Hill at One North. With the direct competition being built pretty much in the same era, having similar layouts and similar features within the development, I don't imagine it being a huge deal breaker when it comes to selling in future. So the One North transformation has been going on since 2009, and given that it's already been 15 years, it's pretty much mature in the transformation stage, and everything that you want to see in terms of potential would have already been there. So unlike the early adopters who bought into One North Residences and Rochester Residences, you're going to have a lot more certainty in terms of the tenant pool and also the introduction of organic demand into this area. Now that it's established with about 50,000 people working in One North, but with only 2,657 residential units available. So this is definitely not a case of oversupply, unlike some other areas in the OCR that we shall not mention. So if you are familiar with our channel, you would know that we are pretty much a nerd when it comes to our analysis that we do. So I think it might be too simplistic to just look at the supply side and say that there is an undersupply in this area. What we have to do is also to look at the demand side of things and determine whether there's really any demand in this area for it to even be considered as an undersupplied situation. We have already done up the analysis so that you don't have to. Before we start off with the analysis, I just want to explain a little bit about the parameters and assumptions that we use for our analysis. So Heritage View and Dover Park View will be left out due to the age and also the distance away from the MRT. So a more apple-to-apple comparison would be One North Residences, the Rochester Residences, and also One North Eden if possible. Now, looking at One North Residences, you will notice that in the last 1 year of transaction, the average quantum that has been transacted is about 1.7 million, and the total number of units being transacted in the last 1 year is 3. The average quantum then tells you how much people are willing to pay for in this area, and that has already been transacted. So 3 units being transacted will then tell us the effective demand for this development. Moving on to Rochester Residences, we are looking at about an average quantum of 2 million with 7 units being transacted. So to understand the effective supply, we will have to look at the number of listings that are listed for sale. In this case, for One North Residences, just now we had 3 units being sold in 1 year, and the number of units being listed right now is about 5, and the average quantum being 1.9. Coming back to the effective supply for Rochester Residences, the total number of units being listed is 7, and the average quantum being 2.2 million. So after looking at all this data, I would say that the effective supply is more than the effective demand in this area, which means that we can then draw 2 types of conclusion, right? Number 1 is that the true demand in this area may not be as high as we like it to be, but it doesn't seem like the market has any issues with absorbing the supply from One North Eden and also Blossoms by the Park. So my guess over here is that people don't mind the small development and the market do like something with a younger lease. And I think on top of that, something that gives them an efficient layout. Because if we were to look at One North Residences and also Rochester Residences, you will notice that the 2-bedders are built really big. So, size ranging from about 980 to about 1,300. So that's really huge when it comes to a 2-bedder, even a 2+ study. I don't think you can get that kind of size at this point in time, which is also why the asking quantum in this area are reaching 2 million and even 2.2 millions as we've seen over here. So if you are interested to buy the Hill at One North, do take note of the average quantum and have that walkaway price. So the Hill at One North being the last plot of land, and it was bidded at a cheaper price as compared to Blossoms by the Park, the developers actually didn't reduce the price. Judging by the indicative prices that were given by the developers, it doesn't seem like they are willing to reduce their prices just because the land bid price is low. They probably have to factor in higher construction costs and labor costs too. This will definitely affect your exit strategy if you are looking to flip in the near term. And I know many people are looking into One North area for that high rental yield, but with a high entry price, your rental yield is probably going to be diluted as well. So if you need more clarity on what your walkaway price is going to be, I will leave our analysis down in the link below. You can download it for free. All that being said, it's not all bad for the Hill at One North. I think it's going to exceed our expectations again, just like how the last two launches have been. Despite the aggressive pricing, there are still some gaps where you can get a safe entry price within this development, and also some alternatives that you can consider when you are looking at this pricing. I will leave all the links down below. If you're still here, thank you for watching. Bye. So in One North, we have Biopolis, Fusionopolis, Mediapolis, and Hello Police.